Hey everyone, my name is Layla and today I'm going to talk about the beast mode fragrances. And these are the fragrances with the nuclear lasting power, with the monstrous loudness. So they have the last bar of longevity in Fragrantica. So they are like some monstrous type of fragrances, and you need to be very careful when you apply this fragrance on yourself, when you spray it, because if you overspray you can choke yourself, you can suffocate yourself and probably someone who is next to you. I will start as always with a classical fragrance, something that became already classical fragrance, and this is Angel by Terry Mugler, and I'm showing you the old formulation. I will be talking about the old formulation because this was the formulation was changed and the new one is not as loud and as potent as the old one. However, with the loudness, unfortunately, the depth of the fragrance is also gone in the new formula, because this one is much more complicated to my nose, and it's richer, it's more concentrated, and it's deeper, I think. And I love the old formula much more than the new one. I need to admit, probably the new formula is much easier to wear, but this one, to my nose, is much more attractive and interesting. And yes, it is a very controversial type of fragrance, and in some point this is a pioneer of gourmands, because this is a fragrance of 90s. It was created by Olivier Cresp, one of my favorite perfumers, and it started the new era, the new direction of gourmands, very sweet fragrances. Yes, I need to admit this is quite a sweet fragrance. It has lots of vanilla in it, and you can even see the color of my juice changed. Before it used to be blue, but now it became brownish because of the vanilla. It changes the color, it changes the color of the juice. At the same time, it has a lot of patchouli, and this is very recognizable Mugler type of patchouli and Angel type of patchouli. At the same time, with that sweetness, it has some metallic note. It is a cold star somewhere in the, in the sky, somewhere in the universe. In some point, it was created before people were ready for this, and for quite a long time, people didn't recognize it, didn't appreciate it, but still, though it wasn't, sold. It was still on the shelves, and it was not eliminated, it was not discontinued, even though it didn't bring any profit. They did not discontinue it, they kept producing this fragrance, and in the end, it's just, it became so popular that you could hear it in the 90s from everywhere, from all nightclubs, all restaurants. It was very popular, and I remember this fragrance was the signature of my sister in the 90s. She used to wear it a lot, and at that time I couldn't, it was too complicated for me, it was too challenging. I couldn't imagine myself wearing this masterpiece, but now I can recognize and understand that this is a real masterpiece, and this is really a very important fragrance in the fragrance world, because it started the whole era of gourmands. But I can't call this straightforward gourmand, eat me gourmand type of fragrance. It is, as I said, very controversial, and they combine something that cannot go together, like the sweetness and cold metallic notes. You can't eat something metallic even if it's sweet. That's why it makes this fragrance so interesting. So I highly recommend to pay attention on this one. If you can find it in the old formula, that would be even better, because I think with the new formula it lost the depth, and the, sophistication. It became easier to wear, yes, but at the same time, it lost the charming power it had before. So if you can find it in old formula, I highly recommend to buy. And yes, this is a very potent, very loud, the monstrous type of fragrance that takes the whole, place. If you spray it, it fills the whole room. So be careful with this one, especially in old formula. This is a monstrous type of fragrance. The next one is by Lorenzo Villoresi. This is another classics, and this is Ten de Neige. The fragrance about the powder bomb, something that you can enjoy only in case if you really love powder, because it's like a classic pure baby powder type of fragrance. It is nice, it is beautiful. I couldn't appreciate it when I was young, but after I grew up, I fell in love with this because it is really beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of the Dove deodorant or soap. Like it's a classical powdery note. When I asked my daughter what she thinks about this, she straight away said, "Mom, this smells like baby powder." So if you are a fan of that type of fragrance, you will like this for sure. It is quite sweet. It has the notes of heliotrope, the powder accord. It has ylang ylang, I think, rose. It has musk, sugar, tonka beans. So it is quite a beautiful, sweet, powdery bomb, I would say. So be very careful when you spray it. It lasts forever and it's quite loud. It has a huge sillage. And even though this is eau de tea, like eau de toilette, but still the lasting power and the loudness of this fragrance can be compared to the perfume one. So nice one and loud one. Again. The next one is by Mancera brand, and you know that Mancera is very famous with its potent and loud fragrances, and this is one of them, and this is Red Tobacco. For me, this is a very attractive sour cherry and wet tobacco type of fragrance that has some sweetness in it. It's not syrupy and sticky type of sweetness, not at all. This fragrance really, to my nose, because of that cherry note that I feel, has a red color, and I think this color suits this juice a lot. It is overpowering. It is, it has a nuclear loudness. It has the longest ever sillage, and this is really can be a weapon in case if you overspray. But first of all, you will kill yourself and then probably the people around you, so be very careful with this one. But if you spray just a little, probably one spray somewhere far from your nose, that will be absolutely fine, and you will get all the beauty of this fragrance, because the fragrance is quite deep. It's rich. It really is. I think the best time to wear this during the cold months, probably fall and winter. But again, even I think that this 120 ml is too much. It will last you maybe 3 or even 4 lives. But the fragrance itself is very nice indeed. The next fragrance is also from Mancera, and this is Black to Black. It is considered a unisex fragrance, and probably you will see it mostly on the men's shelves, but I love this one. By the way, the Red Tobacco is also absolutely unisex. It can be enjoyed by both men and women, and this one as well. This is a very beautiful oriental fragrance. It combines the notes of oud, rose, saffron, leather, some citruses. It is quite typical combination of notes for orientals, but at the same time it is very beautifully done. And I think Firstly, Pierre Montal created this fragrance only for UAE, only for this region, and it was sold exclusively here only, and then it became available in other regions as well. So you can see I already consumed some of that because this is a very potent and very strong type of fragrance that fills the room. That's, as I said, it has enormous loudness and projection and sillage. So even this much is a lot, to wear. It created some sort of addiction in me. When I smell this, I can't stop myself from wearing it. Like when I start wearing it, I can't stop. Like I'm really addicted to it. Though again, this is you can mostly see this on men. Men love this fragrance, but again, here in the Middle East, even women wear something like this. This combination of oud saffron and rose is also very typical to wear even for women. So next fragrance is by Maison Lancome, and this is Woodpecker. This is another oriental one, and I have an old bottle, old formula, and I love this one. It's beautiful combination of rose, oud, the woody notes, marshmallow, the sweetness, the smokiness. It's a beautiful gourmand type of fragrance that lasts forever, and it's quite loud, very noticeable. It gets a lot of compliments because people like this type of fragrances because it's very gourmand. I personally don't wear this fragrance on a daily basis. Like it's a kind of fragrance to wear for the night out, to go for to clubbing, to the pub, for the night club somewhere, where you are not afraid to be loud. But for the daily use, I can't imagine this because it's too loud to me. But the fragrance itself is beautiful. It's gorgeous, I need to admit. And the next one is also by Mugler, and this is the flanker of famous Alien. This is Alien Musc Mystérieux, the edition with a musk. And this is also an oriental type of fragrance, and it is very loud, very potent. It's quite sexy, it's very sensual because it has musk, and musk here is an animalic type of musk. It's a bit dirty. It's not like a sweat type of musk, no, not at all, because I don't like that type of musk. But this one is something very acceptable and easy to wear, even if you don't like the musk that is very typical, let's say, for the fragrances of Narcisa Rodriguez. Like for her, I can't wear for her because for me it's too dirty, it's sweaty. But this one, being a bit animalic, at the same time, this is not sweaty, this is not dirty, at the point that I can't use it, I can still wear it and I enjoy it, and for me this is very sexy. So nice, very beautiful. Probably the muskiness here is very similar to, the musk here is similar to oud. Like they have also the addition with oud, and these fragrances are quite similar. So as you see, the juice itself, it has a red color, and it is very concentrated, very loud and potent, and it's too much. I can't imagine this fragrance for everyday use in the daytime, because for me this is too loud. This is something, the oriental type of fragrances are normally for me the type of fragrances I use when I go for outing in the night time, in the evening, for the restaurant somewhere, because they normally are quite loud, and this one is one of them. But it's gorgeous, it's very beautiful. The next fragrance is also very famous, and this is Kenzo Jungle Elephant, and this is a beautiful bottle with this nice elephant here. This is a very potent fragrance, and this is all about spices. lots and lots of cinnamon, clove, cardamom. It's like a big sack of spices in a bottle, I would say. It reminds me a lot of probably some Indian spices. A very beautiful and authentic type of fragrance. Sorry, the cap is, yeah. Very beautiful, but very loud. It's extremely loud, so be very careful when you spray this on yourself. It's also, it's not a new fragrance. It exists already for a long time, and it's a love or hate type of fragrance. You whether like it or you'll hate it. There is nothing in between because it's very unique. There is nothing like this in my collection at least. So of course you need to pay attention to this fragrance. It's very interesting. It's a niche type for me. It has definitely niche qualities, but at the same time it's very, very loud. So don't blindly buy this one. It's not a safe blind buy for sure. The next one is by Amouage, and this is one of my favorites in Amouage. I just love this fragrance. It's a stunning incensey, sweet, resinous, so rich, so calming and cozy at the same time. It smells so expensive to me. I would say this is an easily unisex fragrance, and though it's dedicated to women, like this is a women's line, but I think men can easily wear this one. It's beautiful. It's, as I said, incensey, smoky, sweet, woody, gorgeous. It's a stunning fragrance, and it is very loud. It's very potent. It's monstrous type of fragrance, and I love it. I love everything about this fragrance. So I can't tell you where I see this, because this is not definitely the fragrance for going out, like for clubbing or pub, because it's quite serious. It's very meditative. It's like calming down. It's like relaxing type of fragrance. It's more a fragrance for yourself, because this type of incensey fragrances are usually, you know, they are some type of fragrances for meditation, to my nose personally. And when I wear it normally at home and only for myself. I enjoy it and I love it. For me, this is like a universe, the whole darkness of the universe. It's endless, it's eternal, it is infinite, it's, I don't know, it's mystical. This is a mystical fragrance and I just love it. The next fragrance is by Michael Kors, and this is Michael Kors, and this is a huge atomic nuclear predator type of tuberose, and I don't even want to spray this one because I am not a fan of this type of tuberose, because for me it has teeth and it can bite you, it can eat you alive. This is very loud. This is enormously loud, and even after spraying all those fragrances, I started having some sort of allergy because I started sneezing. I don't have this with other fragrances, but because all of them are so potent and so loud, I can't even spray it now here in the room. So, and especially this one. This one is a tuberose bomb. It is very similar to Nasomatto Narcotic V. So if you like that fragrance, then most probably you'll like this. But this one is just a monster. Just a monster. It's beautiful, but since it's a tuberose, it can cause a headache for sure, because normally tuberose is a type of flower that can cause a headache. That's why if you love tuberose, yes. If you don't like tuberose, don't even look at that side. So next one is by Lancome, and this is Poème. And I used to have this fragrance when I was young, I was 22 probably, or 21, and at that age I realized it's too much for me, because this is a huge bouquet of white flowers, different type of white flowers, and they are so sweet, like they're honey type of sweet, you know, very, very extremely sticky sweet. And I realized it was too much for me at the time. So I used almost the whole bottle when I was young, and then I didn't repurchase it. And nowadays, once I've grown up, I decided to try it again, and when I smelled it, it was so beautiful, it was so nostalgic, it took me back to my young ages, and I decided to go for the full bottle. I have to admit I don't use it a lot, because to me this is very loud and very potent. It was reformulated, however the DNA is still there. The DNA of the old poem is still there. It's something that I remember from young ages. I can recognize this fragrance for sure, but I see the changes as well. But the fragrance itself is not for young ladies for sure, because probably some might say it's old-fashioned. It's the fragrance of 2000s, I think. But at the same time, this is some type of classics that I just love, and I think it's timeless also. It's beautiful. I love it a lot. And the last but not least for today is by Histoire de Parfums, and this is Fidelis. This fragrance is all about oud and rose, but the oud here is very dark. It is synthetic. This fragrance is very unique, and though the combination of rose and oud is very popular and very common here in Middle East, this fragrance smells completely different from that typical rose and oud combination that we are used to smell here. That's why I can say that this is a very unique combination, very unique interpretation of rose and oud. This was done by quite a young perfumer, Julien Rascounet. He also created one more fragrance for Maison Lancome. It's Roses Barbarenza, quite a famous fragrance. And I need to admit that these two fragrances are very similar. But I would say that Roses Barbarenza is more feminine, and this one is more masculine, because it has oud, and oud here is very potent, very loud. When you spray, it's, you know, from the first spray, you can feel how sharp it is. But this is not a barnyard and malic or medicine type of oud. It is a synthetic designer's type of oud still. But to love this fragrance for sure, you need to love oud, and you need to love orientals. It has also saffron, it has also raspberry, and by the way, this again, the saffron, raspberry, rose, oud is again very typical for Middle Eastern fragrances, but this is unique. This is nothing like I smelled before. Very beautiful, very potent, very sharp, like a nuclear type of fragrance. It lasts you all day. On your clothes, it will last until you wash it. So be careful with this one, but it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's nice, and it's definitely oriental. So I hope you liked today's video. I hope it was useful, and you liked today's fragrances. If you have something similar in your collection, if you have these fragrances, please let me know. What do you think about them? Do you agree with me? Do you also think they are that long lasting? It will be very interesting to read the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to press notification bell. I also invite you to join to my Instagram page, and I wish you to have a great time during this weekend, and I hope to see you in my next video. See you. Bye.